and gentlemen, welcome to a very bizarre episode of the Media Mania Podcast. I am joined tonight by the one and only, the barker of the bizarre, Rika Wild Lee.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on your show. I know we've been talking about it for a little while now, and it's finally happening.
It's showtime.
That's right.
And I gotta say, I love the outfit. I love it. I love the show, like just the act. I love it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. All of my gear outside of my mask and my top hat, I've made myself. Or my mask and my boots, I made my top hat. My mask and my boots, I didn't make myself. Everything else, I have completely custom made. So,
I love the voice, and the voice it draws it all together.
well, the thing about it is, man, is there's a lot of clown characters out there, I would say, and I'm not. That's why I do the whole Barker gimmick. I'm not a clown. The clown is just part of the facade, part of the gimmick. And doing this character as the Barker of the Bazaar, he's a carnival barker. Come on, step right up.
Yeah.
He's the one that draws you in, tells you everything that's going to happen. Witness the wild and wonderful and weird things we have here at the Freak Show, so on and so forth. And that to me is what wrestling is all about. It is about constantly telling that story and drawing you in and showing the highlights and the brightness of the spectacle at hand in the matches and whatever the show may be.
And I have to say, you've drawn me in, like, with everything, like the voice, the outfit, the background. You've drawn me right into you're one of the coolest guests I've had on, and I don't think anything's going to top this.
Well, I really appreciate that, man. It really means a lot to me because, honestly, I put a lot of work, time, and effort into this carny world that I have built. And I'm all about entertaining folks and having them enjoy it as much as I do. So.
I want to.
You're cutting out a little bit, sir.
I was saying, like, with you saying to step right up now, like, I want to come to the show. I want to see the character. I want to see Rika Wild Lee in person. I want to see him work.
Well, see, the thing, man, is, okay, so when I first started, my original name of the character was going to be Rika the Wild Card Lee, because my actual middle name is Lee, and my D&D character from high school, who I'm a huge D&D fan, so my D&D character was Ricochet. So I just took Rika for Ricochet, and I just started looking online as I was building the gimmick and everything else. And I seen that there was about 1 million wild cards out there. Every other company had a wild card something. And I was just like, nah. So it became Rika Wild Lee. Like wildly entertaining, wildly energetic, wildly charismatic,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy how it's grown.
And that's actually your middle name. That's one thing me and you both have in common. My middle name is also Lee. That is amazing.
That is awesome.
What made you do like the top hat? Like, it just, I'm sorry, that is caught my attention. What is the top hat with the lights going? Like, what made you come up with the lights going around?
See, if you notice on the jacket as well, as I speak, the lights play to the voice. So if I'm not talking, they go stop. But if I start talking, then they start flashing. But anyway, as I do that, the reason that I started doing the lights in general is because once I graduated and everything, and I started branching out to other companies outside of my home base company that I was trained under, the UWE, United Wrestling Entertainment Academy of Louisiana. I started going to these other little hole in the wall companies, little small barely had any crowd, just getting my testing the waters and getting my feet wet, and
Yeah.
they didn't have an entrance way. They didn't have any fog machines. They didn't have any lights. They didn't have nothing. It was just a curtain. And this is before I used any lights myself, and it really just killed my whole energy for doing it. I was
Yeah.
just the way it looked. I was just another clown. Then that's the way they tried to book me. And I was like, you know what? Instead of worrying about what every company that I go to has as far as lights, pizzazz, this, that, and the other, instead of worrying about what they have, I'll just become the
Hmm.
lights and bring them with me.
And you've done a damn good job. I went and checked out a lot of your videos from your matches, and just you're a top showman. Like, you're one of the best showmen I've seen.
Thank you, man. That means a lot to me. I've always been a wrestling fan. As far as I fell in love with wrestling at 8 years old. 8 years old, and I'll be 36 in less than a week. And I just can't fathom how happy it makes me to finally be able to do what I'm doing. Because as wrestling fans, we've all at one time or another dreamed of having our own entrance and, having the crowd chant our name and all that kind of stuff. We all do that. We've all done that. But to be able to live that dream out in reality now, and have these folks come up to me and, tell me how much they're enjoying my work and all of that kind of stuff, it makes 8-year-old me happy. That's the only
I
person I'm ever
completely
out.
understand that.
That's the only person I'm looking to make proud is little me that was told it would never happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had the dream just like you did, and I saw what it took to be a wrestler. I'm like, maybe I can. I love professional wrestling, and I thought, how else can I give back? How else can I be a part of this? Like a podcast, I can go and like connect that way and bring
Yeah.
fans together, let them come on the show, voice their opinions, give them a place to be heard.
Right. Right. I mean, it's all part of the network. It's all part of the business, because even when you're not wrestling, you still need your voice and your gimmick to be heard and be pushed. It helps you with your
Mm-hmm.
podcast, pushing out to further your stuff with reaching out to other wrestlers, and it helps us with our gimmick and wrestling, push our content and what we're working towards. So it's a help you, help me, help us business. And that's why I love it.
That leads me to, and that leads me to my next question, because I know you know him, I know him. How did you come to be in contact with the Real Moment of Truth faction?
Well, actually, they just hit me up on Instagram. I mean, I was another indie wrestler pushing my content, posting my reels and all that kind of stuff. And um, he hit me up one day and asked me if I wanted to be, if he would mind, or if I would mind if I could be part of his group and him start pushing my content as well. If I would tag him in some of my stuff, he would love to help me push my content further, help me spread the word about what I've got going on. And he's been a blessing. He has put me in front of so many podcasts, man. Like, I think I've done, you'll be my 45th, I think, podcast that I've done in 5 years. And
That's amazing.
yeah, dude, I've done podcasts all over the world. I've done some in London. I've done some in Denmark. I've done one in Australia. Um, I've done them all over America. And all it is through social media, man. It's social media is such a powerful tool when used in the right way.
It is. And you were talking about other promotions you worked at. I don't know. I saw you post somewhere. I forget where I saw you post it, but you were the CCW. Is that the Coastal Championship Wrestling that you go to?
No, actually, that is Classic Championship Wrestling, and they're in Fort Smith and Alma, Arkansas. I've wrestled 9 different states so far. 25 different companies, 24, 25 different companies. And yeah, it's been quite the journey, but CCW, with me and Nathan Sorrow are the tag team champions there right now, and been the tag team champions for well over a year. Um, but that's in Arkansas. I would love to go work for Coastal. I know who you're talking about, but Yeah.
Hmm. Like, do you get to work a lot of shows in the Tennessee area? Like, I'm in Middle
Um,
Tennessee, so I don't know if you ever work shows in, like the Nashville.
I've worked up until the first of this year. I was working Memphis pretty regularly. Um, Memphis, and there was one other place that I was booked, but the show ended up getting canceled. It was um, what is it? I want to say it's like Grapevine or Grape something. Um,
I've not heard of that promotion. The only promotion I really keep up with in Memphis is Dustin Starr's promotion.
yeah, yeah, Memphis Wrestling.
Because
Yeah,
Memphis,
well,
that's home for me. That's my hometown.
gotcha. The one I was wrestling for was Committed to Wrestling, CTW.
Okay.
Yeah, we were driving. I live in Louisiana, and we were driving up there I think they were running every 2 months. So we were going up there every 2 months and doing shows, but they've kind of set back this whole past year and not really ran anything. So I've met a bunch of cool guys up through Memphis, just working that area. But I do work right on the other side, on the Arkansas side of Memphis, like about 20, 30 minutes
Okay.
away from there. And I work TNR Championship Wrestling in Leachville, Arkansas. I've worked in Dice, Arkansas. I've worked probably 7 different companies in Arkansas, just jumping around that state. But
Well, I will say this. I will say that
you
I can
cut it,
see.
you cut out pretty
I was
bad.
just, I was saying I'm gonna have to take a trip back to West Tennessee to see the Barker of the Bazaar.
Hey, brother. Hey, you just stay checking out my stuff, and if I'm ever back that way, I would definitely shoot you where I'm gonna be and send you a poster or a flyer or whatever. And then I would love that. I would love that.
So I know you're part of the. You have your little group. You do the family affiliated. How did that come to be?
Well, the thing about it is okay. So the Rika character. I don't know if you've ever heard of E-Feds on Facebook. That promo
Uh,
that they do promo battles.
I have.
Okay, that's where Rika started. Okay, I was a E-Fed character. I was just
Okay.
basically promoing, talking trash, this, that, and the other. And that was before I joined the school and all that. So by the time I joined the school, I already had the character. But I, me, and Gluttony we're both E-Fed guys, and we were doing the family affiliated in the E-Fed world with a couple other
Okay.
guys. Not the ones we're with now, but um, I ended up getting into the actual professional wrestling stuff. Went to school, done all that, and I've always wanted to push the group and redo what we done in the E-Fed stuff into the actual wrestling, the wrestling world. And I ended
Yeah.
up I teamed up with Ethan Sorrow at CCW, our first tag team match together, because he was the ultimate heel of CCW and I was the ultimate face of CCW. And
Yeah.
I ended up teaming up with him, immediately turned him face, which was crazy. And and we ended up winning the CCW Tag Team Championships under the name The Family Affiliated. Fast forward about 7 months or so, maybe 5 to 7 months, and we're at another company. We're about to win the Tag Team Championships there, and they have a manager. They
Yeah.
have a manager that is known to play dirty and try to screw the other teams out of the opportunity or whatever. So I was like, I'll have to send you the promo we done for it. It was amazing. We resurrected Gluttony. We resurrected Gluttony.
I would love to see it.
Yes, dude. Everything we do promo wise is very cinematic. It's like little short movies. And I don't
Some of
like
your promo pictures. I hate to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt you, but just some of your promo pictures that I've seen, they're just like they just look like $1 million. They look like $1 million shots.
thing is, man, is I do all my own graphic design. Literally, I try
Mm-hmm.
not to outsource anything because I'm broke. You
Yeah.
know, as indie wrestlers, we're not making a killing. So the more you can do
No.
yourself, the more you can do on your own, the less money you have to spend. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes down to it, I taught through the eFed stuff. I taught myself how to video edit. I taught myself how to record different
Yeah.
angles and things to make everything work. I taught myself how to do my own graphics, my own t-shirt designs.
Mm-hmm.
I probably got close to 50 different t-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees just because I design my own logos and things, and I'll post them on there. There you go. There's some of them there.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna have to get me some of y'all's merch. Like the designs on them just look amazing. Like they do.
Well, we really appreciate that. I love working on different things. Wrestling has always been my hyper focus. I've got extreme ADHD. I don't play video games. I rarely watch TV. I don't watch wrestling at all. My wife's not into wrestling, so when I'm actually home, if we do watch TV, it's a movie or something. But
Yeah.
I'm either working my normal 9 to 5, wrestling on the weekends, or working on something promo wise or gear or merch. And now me and Gluttony are starting E2IW, Exist to Inspire Wrestling. We're starting our own company. So
That's awesome. I always love seeing the people who are involved in making these shows start their own thing and giving other their show.
that's the thing, man, is I've never lost sight that wrestling as a whole, the business that we know and love, that's why I do this gimmick. I've said it on hundreds of podcasts, and I'll probably say it on 100 other ones, but I'm a walking, talking history lesson. Wrestling that we know and love, everything that we enjoy about professional wrestling started at the carnival. Okay. It all started as a sideshow attraction way back when. You know, the characters, the predetermined outcomes, the outlandish storylines, so on and so forth. It all started right here. So that is what my job is, to teach the fans of today what wrestling is all about and why they love the product that they love. Not just these new characters and the things they see on TV, but why they really, really enjoy what they enjoy is because somebody back in the day had the idea to, hey, we can really draw these folks in and give them something entertaining by building these characters that are a little, bigger than life,
Yeah.
and now it's our jobs as entertainers to pay that homage forward and show the masses, hey, wrestling just doesn't happen on TV.
No, it doesn't.
Wrestling is carnival incarnate, and you can't take that away, because history is history, and it's always going to continue, whether it's $1 million business like WWE or a small little local company like any other one,
Yeah. And I know I have to ask you, out of all the promotions that you've worked for since you've started your career, which one do you love going back to the most?
Honestly, I can't pick, because they've all got, majority of them all have their pros and cons. There's one thing I do not do, and that is high hat anybody that is talked down to anybody, or that is get disrespected by anybody. I don't care if you're the greenest guy on the card, or if you're a 50-year vet and you've worked in WWE and all this kind of stuff. In my eyes, a man is a man, a person is a person. Respect is not given, it is earned. And I give everybody the benefit of the doubt when I meet them, unless, pushed otherwise. So,
Yeah. I respect that 100%.
I am one of them kind of people. I understand that this business is one thing and one thing only. It doesn't matter who you are, where you've been, what you've done, all that. This is a business. Wrestling as a whole is a business of paying it forward. It is your job as a wrestler to build prestige on your name, to build value to your gimmick, your character, the resume that you've built, and everything in between, for one simple reason. And that is so that when the time comes for you to get beat and put that next guy over, that the value is there and it means something, immediately elevating this new talent into the spot you just left from.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that any better myself. And I've never, ever a day in my life taken a bump, but I have nothing but respect for the people that do. Like, because I see what y'all do. Y'all miss birthdays, y'all miss holidays to do what y'all love.
Right. And I mean, it's a passion because, yes, we may miss that, but there's kids and there's families and things like that spent their last little bit of money to have this little escape that we get the honor and the privilege to give them at these shows. We may have missed a birthday, but there will be others. They might have missed a meal last night. They might not eat dinner last night. You know what I mean? Like they I don't know what they're going through at home. So it is my job, it is my duty, it is my honor and everything in between to give them that little happy escape, that little bit of entertainment that they can ride on for a little while. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I've spent. There's been many shows I've gone to. I've spent the last $50 from my paycheck to go to an indie show, and it was some of the best $50 I've ever spent.
Right, man, and that's why it doesn't break my heart to know. Yeah, there's things going on at home, but guess what? I was that kid. The kid that I'm working for, that I'm entertaining for, that I'm getting in the ring and performing for. I was that kid, the dreamer, the one who was going through bull crap at the house and everything else, and just needed somebody or something to take my mind off the craziness that the world was putting in my way at the time. And wrestling was that for me. Even though it wasn't a lot of indie shows, when I was that young, I didn't really get to go to a lot of indie shows. But I watched WWE religiously, or the F at the time. But that was my escape. That was my little piece of solitude to the outside world, who was throwing curveballs at me left and right. So now I get to pay that forward.
Yeah,
I get to give it back. And I'm beyond blessed to be able to do that.
I have to say this because you've really got me.
You're cutting out, brother.
I was saying, like, just your speech has got me like right in the heart. Like, and I have to say, like you coming on my show. I was not expecting you to say yes coming onto my show. Like, this dude's got over 3,000 followers. He's not going to come on some little small podcast and waste his time.
Brother, it's my honor to be here getting interviewed by you, because who knows? We never know what's going to happen on the internet. You could blow up tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everybody, just like what I said with the locker room, everybody deserves that respect. Everybody deserves that equal playing field. I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. We're two men talking about wrestling. And that's the way I feel about it. You know?
I get that 100%. And I have to ask, like, I've seen so many guys use face paint or mask. What goes into, like, when you're at a show getting ready to go out there, like, what it goes into getting into this, like, into the showman?
Nothing. I mean, I got a mask, a top hat, and a jacket. I mean, it really takes me about 2 seconds outside of. It takes me about 2 seconds to jump into this. Only thing that does take a little bit of time is I've got, like, there's a battery pack in the top of the hat that keeps these bright. There's a battery pack inside the jacket right next to my heart that keeps these bright. You know what I mean? So I have to charge and do all of that the night before to make sure everything's good and bright and charged up, and my stuff don't die when I'm going out there. But other than that, man, when I get to a show, longest part of doing it all is lacing up my boots.
See, the reason I ask is some of your pictures I've seen it looks more like face paint than it does a mask.
Well, the thing is,
And
man, I had this molded to my face. That's why it looks like that.
yeah,
The mask was molded to my face, like my cheekbones. They fit inside the grooves of the mask, so it's literally
yeah,
my face in mask form. I
that's
thought about doing the face paint at first, but I've done everything in my power to try to steer clear of the ICP Juggalo thing. I'm all
yeah,
for that. I'm not knocking that. I love that, but I wanted to do
hmm
something that was unique to me and not just a knockoff rip off of them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So that's why I do the neon glow and I do the mask instead of face paint. And plus, it gets everywhere when you're wrestling.
Yeah.
It gets everywhere, all over your gear and everything in between. So I just don't like that.
Speaking of the ICP horror, like the horror clown connection, I don't know if you've run in the same circle or run those as them, but there's you probably know I'm a butcher his last name. I apologize if I butcher his name's Nathan Parsons, I believe. Him and the Black Dog saw Texas Chainsaw Leatherface gimmick. Do you ever
Yep.
run at the same shows as them?
No, I know who you're talking about, but no, I do not. I do follow them been following them for a while on Facebook, but I have not yet worked a show with them. The Speaking of ICP and stuff, though, in 2022, I did work at the Gathering of the Juggalos, which was pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah, they just had their they just had their Hollow Wicked this past week, did they not?
I believe so. Yep, this is their final. I think tonight or tomorrow is their final two shows of the tour that they've been running on with JCW.
And I love how you say you try to be like, because I've seen like the one, I forget where I saw it. It's the promo picture of you. I have it right here. Okay, I have it. I do have it. It's
Yeah,
and it's like you're holding the clown. Yeah, and I love that you want to like you don't want to take what they do and try to make it your own. Like you do your own thing. Like you you did something completely different. You didn't do the classic ICP face paint and all that. You had your own thing created.
Well, I've always been into that lifestyle. Don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed the music, all that kind of stuff, and getting into the whole clown gimmick and everything else. I just wanted to make sure that I presented myself more as a carnival connoisseur more than another clown from a circus and Juggalo ripoff. There's 1,000 million, especially in wrestling, guys that do that. They paint their face and my name is Twisted the Clown or my name is Juggalo Johnny or whatever, and I'm not knocking those guys. They may be great workers. I don't even know if they're real people, but I'm just saying I'm trying to bring something a little bit left to center while still paying homage to that lifestyle, but not just completely ripping it off.
Yeah, and I completely understand that because one of my questions, like with you doing the whole showman gimmick, like how many, like did you take homage from any other characters besides the ICP? Because the reason I asked is like the gloves kind of remind me of like almost a Joker vibe.
Well, that's the thing, man. Is okay. I've always been into the neon colors ever since I can remember, and then growing up, I didn't even put two and two together. Why? I was really into the black lights and the bright neon colors. And then here a while back, there was an entrance Jeff Hardy did.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where I was like, that's where I fell in love. That entrance right there is where I fell in love. It's when he had the paint all over his hair and all that. And it was just dripping down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that is where I fell in love with the black light and the neon green and all that kind of stuff. And so it's kind of a homage to him as well. You know, I do the purple and green, and that was the original Hardy Boys colors back in the
Yeah.
day. You know, so it's kind of a paying a little bit of
Paying
kudos
homage.
to them. Yeah, a little kudos to them.
And I love it. I just the whole showman again, the whole showman character. I love how you've taken so much inspiration, like just in every little detail of it.
Everything's been done in wrestling. Everything. There's literally almost nothing that hasn't been done in one way, shape, or form. But it's not about coming up with something original. It's about taking what has been done and what has been amazing and what has got over and what people have enjoyed and turning it on its head just enough to make it your own. Tweaking it just enough to make it your own. And that is what people forget. Every move has been done. Everything's been done, you know, in wrestling, but there are ways to develop anew. Look at your fan base.
Yeah.
Things that were done in the 70s haven't been done. A lot of the moves haven't been done since then.
No.
The fan base that we've got now haven't seen those moves. So if you work a match that has got old school play to it, these younger fans that are of now are going to look at that and go, "Oh man, that was amazing! That I've never seen that before." Exactly. It's not about, knowing your fan base. That's it.
That's all. Just again, it's all a part of being a showman, knowing what draws the crowd.
Yeah. Listening to the crowd. Listening to the crowd. They will tell you everything you need to know if you just listen to them.
No.
What? Hello?
I think Mike froze up a little bit, so I'm going to hop in and commandeer the show for just a minute.
All righty then.
Rika, it's nice to meet you. I am JD. I run Mayhem Media. My headline is wrong at the moment, but I run Mayhem Media.
Nice to meet you as well, sir.
Yes, it is. I'm very happy that you agreed to come on the show with Mike. It has been an excellent episode so far, so I'm loving it here. Just sitting back here listening.
I appreciate that, man. I've enjoyed it myself. I love talking wrestling, especially with people who know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to pull Mike out. Oh, there he went. Anyway, good. We got him out now. I was the one leaving a bunch of comments, so I'm going to actually just fill the time until we find out if Mike gets back or not. I love that you were a D&D player. You said earlier you were a D&D player.
Yes, most definitely.
That is so great. I love that. I'm also a D&D player. I was not in high school. Like I was not into that kind of stuff really in high school. It wasn't until I got a little older actually that I started doing that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's awesome that you took a character it's from your D&D days and turned it into a wrestling gimmick. That's fantastic.
It's a funny deal, man. It's because like when I started playing, I was probably about 15 or 16. And I was going half days to school and half days to a welding school where I was learning how to weld and get my certificate in welding. And I was making throwing knives to use at home. And me and one of my buddies, who also played D&D with us, that's how I got the name Ricochet. Was I could take these knives and I could throw them and ricochet them off of things and stick into stuff. And he gave me that nickname.
Mike, I've commandeered your show for a minute, so I'm gonna finish my conversation with him quick, and then I'll turn it back over to you, Mike.
Yeah, my connection. I'm sorry about that, Rika. I live out in the country. My Wi-Fi decides to kick out sometimes.
You're good.
It happens. But I wanted to just follow up with one more thing then, and it's just because I bring that up. I brought that up. I went back to the D&D thing from when you played in high school because the name Mayhem Media has a cool kind of origin story too. It has to do with, did you ever play the wrestling games like SmackDown?
Oh, I love WCW Mayhem.
Yes, WCW Mayhem was a great show, but me and my buddy played a lot of SmackDown and stuff. And when they finally made a SmackDown where you could create more than 4 creator wrestlers,
Right.
Me and my buddy wanted to create a new faction, create a stable. So we kind of splintered off, and we were NWO Mayhem in the WWE game. So we wanted to bring the NWO into the WWE, and that's the origins of the Mayhem Media. It goes all the way back to the SmackDown games.
That's
so
great.
That's why I brought that up. So it was it's kind of cool that you also, like, something from high school, your high school days, from your younger years, evolved into something you're doing now. Because I can completely relate to that. I love it.
Awesome, man. I think it's just I'm super into nostalgia and things like that, and playing stuff. Even if others don't get it up front, it makes me happy in my heart knowing that. Yeah.
Absolutely, Mike. I'll turn the show back over to you, and I'll be backstage in case you have any more issues.
Okay.
Have a good one, brother.
What I was saying, like, just about being the showman, like, it's so, you don't see many guys or girls in the wrestling community that can take what's been done, do what you've done, and just turn it on its head.
I love entertaining, and I didn't really realize it until I started with the promo stuff and getting in the ring. How you hear all the years you've heard about wrestlers saying how the pop is addictive, the fans are addicted.
Mm-hmm.
That energy alone, the adrenaline of it is addictive. It's like people who skydive. As soon as they hit the ground from jumping out of a plane, they're like, "Can we go back up? Can we do it again?" It's just
real.
It's just something that I don't think you'll ever get enough of, and that's why it's so heartbreaking to fans and to the wrestlers when you finally have to see one of those legends retire. Watching them finally hang up the boots. It's not about the matches they've had. It's about knowing everything that they have ever done has amounted to giving back to the people.
And I could just, right off the top of my head, there's been so many professional wrestlers that I've watched their retirement matches, and it just, I didn't understand it at the time, but now, like, as a grown adult, going back and watching it now, like, they were setting the next generation to pass the torch.
Yes, dude. Yes, like one main one that I can remember, and it just actually two, and both of them involved The Rock. You got The Rock and Stone Cold, and you got The Rock and Hulk Hogan. Both of those matches were heartfelt, man.
For me, the one that got to me, and it still gets to me as a grown adult, is Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels.
Oh, look, Ric Flair's had so many retirement matches, and they all get to me. I get that. That when he's crying and he's like, "Oh,
come on, give it to me."
Dude, my heart.
Like, Flair, he's like, "Come on, if you're like, if I gotta go out, this is how I'm gonna go."
Yeah, dude. What better way? Same way with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Like, what better way, bro?
Oh man, that just classics, just instant classic matches.
Yeah, but that's why I am working the way I'm working and doing what I'm doing. So one day when I get that spot, when I get that match to finally close the chapter of the Barker of the Bazaar and put an exclamation point on everything I've done, that the guy that finally goes over and beats me can step in my shoes. And it means something.
I know that's a long ways off, but I have to, I'm not gonna, right now, where you are in your career, which talent stars have you loved working with the most, that are like, I would want to work with them again and again if I could?
Well, there's been a handful. I would love. I'll always love to work. I wrestled against Gluttony, and me and him have such good chemistry because we're best friends outside of the wrestling. So
Yeah.
he's one I could wrestle 1,000 times over and it never get boring. Gatekeeper is another one. We've been friends since we were not. Me and Gluttony have been friends since we were about 13, and me and Gatekeeper have been friends since we were about 9. So wrestling them two alone, we could have 100 different matches and they all go over smooth because we just work so flawlessly together.
And another question, since you brought up is there an idea of how you want your retirement match to be, or how to end?
Of course there is. So I've said this on other podcasts, but my son he'll be 18 in December. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he, growing up, as I'm a wrestling fan, he grew up a wrestling fan as well.
Yeah.
And he's not as heavy into it now with what, as I'm into it. He comes to the shows sometimes and he supports me, of course. But he's super into skateboarding right now, and he's started his own skate brand and all that kind of stuff. But if I had it my way, even though I don't want him to get into wrestling because I'm in it, I would rather.
Yeah.
I want him to pursue his passions.
Mm-hmm.
But if he ever was to grace the squared circle, I would love nothing more than for him to be my final match.
That's I would not want it. Like if I were in your shoes, that's how I would want it.
I would love that. I mean, I would probably bawl like a baby, but I would love that.
Because I've never had any personal family be like step inside. I have like adopted family. Like my god uncle, he's a wrestler. He's been doing this. He's been doing this 20, 30 years now. He's done shows in Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, and him and his son, they became a tag team. I'm like, I know that's got to be something special. They like doing a tag team with your son.
Who are they?
Bone Crusher and Casanova Kid.
Oh, that name sounds familiar. I'd have to look them up. I've probably seen them at least on Facebook or something.
Mm-hmm. One of the shows, I don't know if you've ever been to the show. It's in Mississippi. It's called EPW.
EPW.
They run in Boonville, Mississippi.
I know the company. It's not Empire Pro, is it?
I forget what it stands for. I have not been in almost 6 years. I've not been to a show in 6 years.
Gotcha.
Like I've been to indie shows, but I've not been to that show in 6 years.
Gotcha. I don't know. I'd have to check it out. I went on Facebook a couple years back and literally typed in each state, 50 different states, and typed in wrestling companies in that state and went and followed them all on Facebook. So I probably.
Were you talking about DPW?
No, EPW.
Oh, EPW. I misheard. Sorry. Just that then my 2 cents isn't needed here.
I wrestle or have wrestled for Battle Zone in Mendenhall, Mississippi, a few times. I wrestled for VHS so there's been like 2 or 3 companies in Mississippi I wrestled for. One in Louisiana, and I want to keep it that way. And there's been 4 or 5 in Texas, and 6 or 7, and there's been a lot. There's just been, a lot of travel.
If you ever get the chance, there's a promotion in Nashville. They're very new. They've only had 4 or 5 shows, but I would love because what they do with the show, you would fit right in because they put on. Because they have a live band that plays during the show. I'm like, and now like just hearing you and just seeing what you like, you'd fit right in with their show. Like it's
what's their
like
name?
A Pro Wrestling Symphony, PWS.
I'll have to check them out. They got a Facebook and stuff.
They do.
I'll have to check them out for sure. I would definitely do that. I mean, I'm all about traveling. I'm all about pushing the gimmick, pushing the faction, pushing all of it. and helping companies grow, because if I can help you by putting butts in the seat, you put me on a flyer or whatever the case, I'll cut you a promo, I'll hype it up, I'll post a poster. Wrestling isn't work to me. Wrestling is fun to me.
Mhm.
That's why all the promoting you see me do, all the videos you see me put out, I was doing that when it was still on VHS tape. Okay. Before social media was ever a thing, I was taking these VHS tapes and cutting them up and redubbing them and passing them out to my buddies to watch. Now, it was complete garbage back in the day because I wasn't nothing but a little kid. But now that I can do this on a bigger platform and not just my friends can see it, but the world can see it,
Yeah.
man, I'm excited to do it every single time.
Yes, you. And I don't know if you've worked with him. I don't know if you have. He's another guy I love. He's here in Tennessee. It's like the gimmick is like it's a horror. It's like a Mankind Texas Chainsaw Massacre mashup. His name's Cousin Condry. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Ever
I
worked a
do.
show with him?
I follow him on Facebook. I do.
I would love to see y'all work together.
I think that would be great. The thing is, man, is you see, like me and my faction, we're faces. We're faces. And everybody tries pushing us when they first see the gimmick and they see everything, they try pushing us as heels. And I understand that from a outsider looking in, not knowing the depth of the gimmick or anything of the sort. They see horror, scary character, clown, killer, whatever. I get it. But the whole gimmick is built around the notion of explaining to the masses that everybody's got flaws and it's okay to embrace them. It's okay to be uniquely you. And you don't have to be complete pristine, pretty model face and all that kind of stuff. You can look as weird and bizarre and as odd as you want to. You just have to be 110% completely okay with you. The world will adjust. That's the way we push the gimmick. It is our job to take these heels, these bad guys that are completely turning whatever company they're part of on its head and telling everybody that they're worthless and they're trash and they're this, that, and the other, whatever they got to do to get heat. It is our job to put them away and show all the fans that it's okay to be you. Everybody's got opinions, but the only opinion that truly matters is the one and the image looking back at you in the mirror.
And you made me think about this you made me think about this just now. Like with what y'all do, just one other group pops in my mind of what y'all remind me of. And I'm sure you already know the answer. Yes.
We get it all the time, and I appreciate that to an extent. I do, because I love Bray Wyatt. I love the Wyatt family. I love the Wyatt Six. I love the gimmicks, the build, the world around the gimmick. But the only thing is since Bray's passing, I don't ever want to give off the vibe that I am trying in any way, shape, or form to step in the unfillable shoes that is the legacy of Bray Wyatt.
Oh no, I did not mean anything. I'm just
I know, brother, and you're not the first one to bring it up, and I see it too. Don't get me wrong, I see it too. But that's why the things we do, the avenues we take, it comes off that way, and it's almost with a 5-person faction. You got 4 dudes and a woman. It's almost impossible not to blend the two, But I appreciate that in a way that means so much to me because he meant so much to the wrestling world. The Wyatt Six, the Wyatt family, Brody, all of it. If I can do 1% of the things to change the wrestling world that Bray Wyatt did, my career will be a success.
And with Bray, like I like his the way he can make a character, like he can just create these characters and play them. I'm like, I could never, like, even me doing this, I'm like, I could never, my character could never be even in the top 1% of what he could do.
Right. I don't want to be cryptic, because I don't think there's anybody that could ever do it better than him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand why people have tried pushing us in that manner to be their company's version of the Wyatt Six. But I am going to take everything that we do, put a spin on it enough to show that we honor the Wyatt family. We appreciate the Wyatt Six, Brody and Bray, and everything that they ever done. But I want to make sure that people understand that the freak show is the world that we live in. We live in the freak show. There's no such thing as normal.
No.
Everybody is a freak in their own little way, and it's up to the world to embrace those unique values, those unique qualities that everybody wears a mask and tries to hide.
And it is like everyone had, like, until you see that mask slip, you don't know.
Yeah.
And speaking, do you ever, like, I know the mask you said you had, the one you wear, you had it molded to your face. Do you ever ask people, do you ever have people ask if you're going to, like, sell replicas of your mask to, like?
Yeah. And I've really thought about that, because, okay, so when I first started, it was like a year or two in, when people really started asking about merch and all that kind of stuff. I went and I bought, the plain white drama masks, just plain white, blank face. Yeah.
Yep.
So I bought a big bundle of those. It was probably 20 or 30 of them. And then I went and I bought a box of the crayons that you can get from, like, what is it? IHOP. They give the kids, just got red, green, blue, or something like that in it. It's got a 3-pack of crayons. I bought that, and I was selling those for $5 a pop. It was a mask and the 3 crayons, and I allowed the kids to create their own mask to present to the world, their own unique face to present to the world. And my mentality was this: how cool would it be to do an entrance just like Bray Wyatt and his Fireflies? You have an entrance and you come out, and the sea is just, the whole crowd is just covered in blank white faces. No emotions, no facial, just blank white faces. How cool would that be? It
would be really cool. And not only with the Wyatts, that wasn't gonna be the, you also remind me of that one group. Joe Gacy was part of it too. He was part of it in NXT. I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. Do you know the group I'm talking? Do you know the group I'm talking about? The Joe Gacy was leader of it in NXT. They wore the yellow mask.
I know who you're talking about, I believe, but I don't know their name. Like I said, I don't watch, outside of what I see scroll across Facebook. I don't watch much wrestling. And it's not that I don't enjoy the product anymore. It's not that. It's not that I'm above it or anything. It's just I've seen so many indie guys that watch weekly. They're still super fans, and that's fine. And they watch Monday, and they watch SmackDown and Raw and all the in-betweens. But they come to their show, and even if they don't mean to, because it's now internalized in their mind, they end up almost copycatting the matches they saw.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I get upset at the fact that these fans just paid $10, $20, $30, whatever the case may be, to watch you wrestle and see the same. They wasted their money to see the same stuff they just saw on Monday. or Friday or whatever. You know, it's like they paid this money to see something they can't see on TV, something unique, something entertaining that isn't something they can see every single day. You know what I mean? Or every show.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, because you like talent that still watch, like indie talent that watches the product. What do you think about some of these talents that go on and build these platforms on social media, like the Tommy Invincibles or the Big Trouble Ben Bishops of today?
Oh no! Look, I love Ben Bishop. I do. I think the dude's hilarious. I think the dude is hilarious. He's a great talent. I've seen his matches. He's comedy gold, man. And
Yeah.
I do. I love the fact that he, just like the what is it? What's his name? He's got the glasses and the big thick mustache.
Oh, Jack Vaughn. Jack Vaughn.
Yes, Jack Vaughn. Him and Ben Bishop both they make fun and they poke fun at what we do. And I think it is gold because it's all true. It is all so true. Everything that they do their videos on is so accurate. And I love it in the fact that they take it serious, but it's okay not to take it so serious because it's all a show. It's all entertaining. That's what we do. That is the whole thing in what we do. You know, I know everybody's different. And I see these wrestlers and on the indie scene or even above or whatever, and they just take it so serious and they get so, I've got to be the champion. I got to go over and I got to do this and I got to do that because I'm, you know, and I'm like, you do understand that it's all, every bit of it, all of it, 110% without a shadow of a doubt is a show. It's a show. It's entertaining. You know what I mean? That's what we do. We build a story through body language and moves that we do so that by the time it gets to the crowd, they understand what's going on and the next champion can be built. That's the rotating door that we call pro wrestling. Okay? If you have an ego built up big enough to think you are forever unbeatable, then you don't need to be in this business. You need to be in UFC or something. This is a show. This is entertaining. This is pro wrestling. You're only as big as the fans allow you to be. If they don't want you to be the next big thing, then you won't be.
No.
I've seen amazing wrestlers come through. Top-notch talent. Dude could wrestle 1,000 different ways and do all these amazing moves and all that, but has no charisma. You know, has no gimmick value, has no entertaining value. Great wrestler, but has nothing else going for him. And the fans are like, cool move, bro. Thumbs up. You know, it does nothing. Then I've seen people that can barely wrestle at all, but they've got gimmick or they've got a entertaining side of them, charisma, and the crowd eats it up. I'm going to use Luigi Primo as an example. Okay. The dude has a fake pizza dough that he whoops ass with, and people dig it, man. And he doesn't really do much. Not that he can't wrestle. I'm just saying he doesn't do much. He doesn't have to.
Yeah.
His body will last forever if he wants to because he's got a gimmick. He's got an entertaining side to what he does. It's not just getting there, throw each other around. Boom, I'm the winner. You're the loser. There's a show to be built.
There is.
That's what the people want, man.
We've talked about it in a couple different questions with your group, the family affiliated. Are there any promotions that you would want to take the family affiliated to, like some of these bigger indie shows like DPW in Texas or GCW?
Yes, I mean, I would love that. There's a lot of talent in like GCW. Like, I would love to bring the family as a whole to those places. But the thing is it's not worse if, and this goes a long way with most promotions, but we've always stood by our guns when it came to this is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
This is who I am. This is who we are. If you want us, we are more than willing to come work. We are more than willing to come do, whatever match, but we're not changing.
Yeah.
We're set in our ways because everything that we've done works. It all works. And we've built it that way. If you start picking and poking and changing small things before you know it, the web of everything that we have built slowly starts to decay. And slowly starts to fall to pieces. And it's not worth that to me.
No.
I've had legendary promoter James Beard. He asked me a couple years back. He was running TSW on TV in Texas. James Beard was in the recent or last year movie, The Iron Claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the referee in that movie.
Okay.
He's a legendary referee, been all over, done all kinds of things, whatever. But he asked me, he's like, "Hey, Rika, have you ever thought about dropping the mask?" He's like, "I don't mean this weird, but he's like, you're not a bad looking guy. And the rule of thumb is in wrestling, you don't hide a decent looking dude who could draw tickets behind a hood." And I understand that, but I just shut him down. He's like, if you drop the mask, I'll get you down to TSW. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Now I could have been on TV. I could have probably opened a lot of other doors. They had a lot of eyes on them and all that kind of stuff. But I would rather fail as myself than succeed as something I don't feel comfortable with. Succeed as a somebody else's vision of me.
Yeah. So with the mask, like, do you I know it's totally different, but do you like see the mask and like, because I know with like in Mexico, the mask is like the wrestler's way of expressing who they are. Is that kind of how you see the mask?
To to an extent, I do. To an extent, I see the mask as, because we talked about it. I've been doing this since 2019.
Yeah.
The not so much as bright as I'm doing it, but with the mask and all that. And I see the mask as a piece of me, a piece of my heart.
Yeah.
There is everything that I have been able to do. I've been in magazines. I've been on some of the biggest stages that I could possibly think of. I've been on podcasts all over the world. I mean, everything that has been built is due to the mask and the gimmick, and I feel it's something that it's more than just a mask to me. It is. I'm not going to say it's like a lucha mask because, it's something that I will forever hold near and dear to me because it has gave me so much.
Oh yeah. And because I'm gonna be honest, like I would not want to go to a show if I see you on the card and you don't have the mask. I'm like, why doesn't Rika have his mask? Where's his mask? Like,
I wouldn't. If they would have made me drop the mask, I would have completely threw the gimmick out. I would not do this character without it. I would not. Period. I would completely put this in a bag somewhere, and that's where it would live. And I would come up with something totally different, which would just be another generic Joe Blow guy in tights. There's 1,000 of those.
Yeah.
There's one Rika Wild Lee.
And I want to ask you a question. I've interviewed a couple different indie talent, and I've avoided asking them this question.
Go for it, brother.
The PWI list, what do you think about it? Like, what do you think should be different? Like, do you think there's people that are on there that shouldn't be on there, and there's people that's not on there that should? I've avoided the question because I know this is a touchy subject.
Well, the thing is, man, PWI list, people look at it like it's the end all be all. If you make that list and you make it whatever number, that you've done something. It's just like any other business. It's a bunch of guys in the back that drew a bunch of names, saw a few matches, saw a cool gimmick, whatever the case. Maybe saw some. How are you going to judge a wrestler and say he's top 10 on the PWI list.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to judge him based on his career resume, his wins and losses and everything, when the wins and loss value are predetermined?
Yeah. Because the reason I asked you, because I would not like your character and just the videos I've seen you doing your promo, like you deserve to be on the list. Like you deserve to be on the list. The whole family deserves to be on the list.
I am one of those people. I'm very humble. And I think everybody deserves to be on the list. And if people have made the list, and that's great, I'm all for it. I'm so happy that they have done that. And it touches them in their heart and makes them feel worthy of everything they put their body through. I am all for that. But just like with anything else, the list doesn't make the gimmick. The list doesn't make you relevant. The list doesn't make you meaningful. It doesn't make you anything, but it is an amazing mark on your resume. It does build and elevate your career to the point where I go, well, if he made that list, then obviously he's worth a damn. Could be, couldn't be. I've made the top in 2023, I think it was the top 100 indie wrestlers to watch. You know,
See, I didn't even know there was that list. See, I try to keep up with all the wrestling news I can. There's so much to consume.
Well, that's why as I do things, as I progress, and as I push my gimmick and the matches I've had and all that kind of stuff, I've got on my Facebook and I've got it pinned to the top of my page. It is my resume. It is every company I've worked for. It is every podcast I've been on. It's every championship I've won. It's every magazine I've been in. It's every highlight that you could possibly think that a promoter would want to look at and go, okay, he's worth investing in, is on there.
Yeah.
That list is what's meaningful, not the PWI, the resume.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, because before I met the Real Moment of Truth, I had never heard of the Barker of the Bazaar. But as soon as I met the Real Moment of Truth and I saw some of the people he was working on, like, and your profile just like caught my, I'm like, eventually I need to reach out to him. I'm like, this, and just having you on the show now, like the showman character and just the background behind you, the black and white, like the old psychedelic hypnosis. It's just like, how have I not heard of him yet? How did I not hear of him?
When the time is right, my brother, when the time is right, we'll cross paths. Just like any other thing, when the time is necessary and the things go the way they go, you know, things will happen. You can't rush things in life. And I don't. I'm one of those that I live for today, not for tomorrow, not for yesterday. And if we cross paths and we end up doing a podcast or whatever the case may be, it's going to be enjoyed for now. You know,
Like, I just, because like I said, I didn't know how I hadn't ran across your character. I've seen like the Cousin Condry, and I've seen all these other horror themed characters in the wrestling where I'm like, but how have I not heard of the Barker of the Bazaar, like the showman?
well, and that's another crazy thing about. So when I started building and working on this character for the professional wrestling stuff, like when I started training and getting in the ring and really started tweaking the character to be an in-ring persona, that's why I started doing the Barker instead of the clown, because I had never seen. I've heard of the ringmasters, I've heard of the jesters, I've heard of this, and this, but I've never heard of a Barker in wrestling. You know, a carnival Barker. That's such an easy gimmick to throw over because it's natural to the wrestling world, to the entertaining side of it. I mean, pretty honestly, it's the first character that wrestling ever had in it. It's the beginning. The Barker at the carnival is the very first character that was ever put inside the wrestling world, period.
I'm just telling you, step right up, come see the amazing whoever.
That's what I'm saying. before the wrestlers, before the sideshow attractions, before all of it, the first person, when the carnival very first opened its doors, it started presenting all these outlandish, entertaining things that they'd done. The Barker drew them in. The Barker welcomed them home. And seeing as it opened the doors, that character opened the doors for everything that we know and love about entertainment that has came out of the carnival since then.
Would you say that like ring announcers and commentators kind of are cut from that same cloth?
Oh, most definitely. But they aren't the ones sitting at the front door.
No.
You know, the Barker, he was the one that was sitting at the gates, drawing everybody in to come get their tickets, to make sure that by the time they got in there, sat down and started doing their things. I'm going to say the commentators are cut from the same cloth as a ringmaster.
Yeah.
You know, ringmaster, he tells them what's going on as the event is happening. You know, as the lion is going to jump through these flaming hoops, that's the ringmaster's job, is to announce that and tell you what's all happening and da-da-da-da-da. So modern day announcers and commentators and things like that are cut from the cloth of the
ringmaster.
Right. They produce it and speak on it as the event is happening. The Barker, before the show begins, before the crowd shows up, it's his job to put on that show and entertain the people enough to go, okay, I want to see what this guy's talking about. I want to see what this guy has to offer, because he's obviously got some crazy stuff behind him going on back there. So I need to buy a ticket and then see what that's about, you know.
Mm-hmm. I want to see what he's selling. I want to see what
that's what I'm saying.
What he's selling.
That's it. And that's why I'm billed from your town. Okay. So I'm not billed from a certain city or anything like that. I'm billed from your town. They say Rika Wild Lee, the Barker of the Bazaar, from your town. Why? Because that's what a carnival does.
They travel.
Right, from town to town. I'm never from one certain place. I'm always from town to town to town. Not only that, but it is an immediate hook. When a crowd that I've never been in front of, I'm at a new company, and they go, Rika Wild Lee, Barker of the Bazaar, from your town, they're immediately going, do I know this guy?
You guy?
Yeah. Have I met this dude before? And then they see the mask. Then they see the hat and the lights. And they are involved and on the hook. And I ain't even hit the ring yet.
Like, step right up.
That's what I'm saying. I'm the draw. And that's the Barker. That's the Barker in a nutshell. Look at me so I can show you them.
And like I said at the beginning, like you had me drawn from the moment you started talking. You had me drawn like, okay, like he has me sold. Like he could sell me, he could sell me water and I buy it. He could sell me water.
I just really enjoy what I'm doing, man. And I love pro wrestling and being able to, and my heart give back to the fans like I was as a kid and show them that there's a lot more than just, you don't have to do the flippy jumpy, just only wrestling. There's more entertainment to wrestling than just getting out there and doing moves.
And there is. And I know we talked about it a little while ago in the show. Like before you were on Pro Wrestling Tees, did the Barker of the Bazaar, did you have any other places that you were selling your merch on before you went to Pro Wrestling Tees? Like did you have like a storefront?
Well, honestly, I had I had done some shirts at home. Me and Gluttony, his actual him outside of gimmick, before he was Gluttony and doing the wrestling with me. He was my booking manager and my merch manager. So he got shirt presses and all of that kind of stuff. And yes, all these designs I made myself. And he would get all of my stuff pressed up and he would come to the shows and follow me to the shows. And set up the booth, and then he was basically the carnival barker for the carnival barker.
So how is it when you have your shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees? Like, what is the split with them? Is there like a certain split?
It is. They get majority of it, honestly. I mean, I think I may pull $8 or it's like $7 or $8 per shirt, something like that, and they get the rest of the cut because they got to print it. It's their shirt. They got to press it. They got to ship it, and all that. So it's just an easy way for people to get merch. I don't really make anything off of it. You know, most of the money that I make off T-shirts and things like that are at actual shows. Unless you message me on Facebook and you can order one directly from me to where I would get majority of the profit, which would be awesome. But and I'm all about that as well. If you find a shirt on there you want and you screenshot the shirt and send it to me and say, hey, could you make me a shirt this size with this logo on it? Of course I can.
Yeah.
So either way you really want to go, it just doing pro wrestling tees just made a easier avenue for folks not local to get a shirt.
So I've asked this to each of my guests who's been involved in the wrestling world, especially like when they have to travel. Like, how much of your profits from each show go into your traveling expenses?
Every bit of it, every single bit of it. If I come home with $20, I've had a good weekend. Now, and this goes into being more known and being more credible, because the more credible you become, the more dependable you become, the more of a draw you become. You do have promoters that will help with hotel rooms and things like that, which helps you not have to spend as much.
Yeah,
they'll pay your booking fee, and then they'll help with hotel rooms and things like that. But that's another good positive about having a faction. We all travel together, therefore, because we're all a Smoke the Reaper is the only one that's from Texas. We're all from Louisiana, and majority of us travel together, so we all split gas.
Yeah.
We all kind of break it up and help each other out. So everybody, and then we try to push as much merch at the shows as we can, so that we all come home with a little bit in our pocket. May not be much, but it's something.
And I like I said, I asked out of all my guests who are involved in the wrestling world, because I've heard the horror stories. I've heard some stories about the hot dog and the handshake. I'm like, I'm like, that cannot be true. A hot dog and a handshake. There's someone's got to be blowing smoke up someone's ass.
Look, man, I'm telling you, I've worked shows where you get promised one thing and you get burnt, but those are hard lessons learned, just like in life. Just like in life and normal lessons, you go through some bullshit so you can turn around and go, well, I'm not letting that happen again. Shame on one, shame on me, two, shame on you. I'm not getting shamed a third time.
No. And the reason I started asking this question to all my guests who are involved in the wrestling world, because I saw Ben Bishop, he does this little skit of the Shindy promoter.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he must have, like, there's got to be some truth, or I got to know like how true some of these stories are. That's why I ask every guest who's involved in the world.
Look, man, and that's why I will always say the dude's accurate. You got the Shindy promoter, you got the sketchy guy that's always hitting on the female talent. You got those are real people. He didn't just come up with those gimmicks or those skits. He's probably seen those same dudes in the locker room or at a show. I've seen a few myself, and they're 100% cringeworthy, and you're just like, ugh.
How do I work with this dude? How do I get wrapped up in this?
The thing is, man, and I'll tell anybody, the only way to persevere in a world where gimmick is the reality, ears open, mouth shut, let your work speak the words that you don't want to say. Actions speak louder than words. You go there, you perform, you work, you entertain, you let that speak the volumes. Unless you aren't going to get paid and some other words have to be said, but professionalism is the only way. You don't have to be ruthless, rugged, fighting all this kind of stuff. You don't have to do that. You can get all the words you need to say, out in the open just by a few small actions in the ring.
And I love hearing you say that because, like, not only with like wrestling promotions, but there's other wrestling podcasts out there that try to shut down other podcasts from getting guests or just going all to like running shows all together. I'm like, how, not just for the podcast, but just in general wrestling promotions podcast, like, how can y'all want to see one person do so badly that you want to get them shut down?
Thing is, man, opinions. Opinions have been happening. People have been talking trash, talking noise, downing others, putting others down since language became a thing. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, whenever it was, when language first started becoming an official thing and people started chit-chatting, first thing they probably was, he can't hunt worth a shit. Or she can't gather worth a damn. But the fact is people are always going to talk noise. They're always going to try to down you to make themselves feel better. But the only thing you can control, and I said it earlier, the only opinion that matters is the one staring back at you in the mirror.
The man in the mirror.
That's it, brother. That's it. People talk trash. People are going to down you. People are going to say it ain't worth it. People are going to forever and always. It's never going to change.
Nope.
But your drive, your heart, your persistence, your vision is yours. Not theirs.
It is. And I said this at the beginning of the show. I'm going to say this now. I've enjoyed having you on this episode. I've enjoyed the show, man. And just you draw me right in, and you put some questions in my head that I didn't have planned, and I really and I thank you for it. Like, you put a lot of things in my head, and I loved it.
It means a lot to me, man. And like I said, I enjoy talking wrestling. I enjoy meeting new folks. Like, we never actually met face to face like this, and I just enjoy talking about the wrestling world and explaining to folks on your platform, along with my platform, that wrestling doesn't have to be black and white.
No.
It doesn't have to be good and bad. It doesn't have to be just wrestling. There's a whole side that people in the last God knows how many years have forgot about. and
to quote you, I'm gonna quote you to you. I'm sorry for this.
Go for it.
You have to be like the Barker. All you have to, if you just want to see something other than with wrestling, all you have to do is step right up.
That's it. Be willing to step out on a limb and look past the normal facade of what wrestling is giving you nowadays.
And I would love, and if you're down for, I would definitely love to have you on another episode sometime down the line when you have another opportunity on your schedule. I know you get booked probably way out on the calendar.
Look, you just let me know, brother, and I'll make it happen. I mean, I work 5 days a week at my normal job, and I get off at 4 every day. So if there's ever a time, in the next couple of months or whatever the case, you just let me know. I've enjoyed this a lot, and I'm down to do it whenever. You just hit me up.
I appreciate it. Yeah, because I get it. I work. I know. I hear y'all. I hear so many other wrestlers say they work their shoot jobs.
Yeah.
And I also work my day job. I work at Amazon, and I work 7 to 5:30 every day, or 7 to 5, depending if we get done.
Me and Gluttony both work for the town that we live in. I'm a meter reader. I read the water and gas meters for the town, and he works the water, sewer, and gas plant. So we talk wrestling all day, every day, working on gimmick stuff, working on matches, working on schedules all day, every day. So
I wear a wrestling t-shirt to work every day. I'm like, and people ask me, how do you wear a different shirt? And I'm like, I don't have many vices in this world. I don't drink.
Right.
I don't smoke. Wrestling is my vice.
That's it, bro. That's it. And then people are gonna, like I said, what I'm into, you don't have to be, and what you're into, I don't have to be. But the fact is it doesn't make you right. It doesn't make me wrong, and vice versa. It makes us both different, and that's what makes the world go round. Unique.
We all wear our own mask.
That's it, man. That's it. That's it. You know, be you, brother. Be you. I can respect it.
I've enjoyed this very bizarre episode with the Barker. I really have. And if y'all haven't yet, if you haven't heard of the Barker of the Bizarre, Rika Wild Lee, I advise y'all go check him out. Like I don't think this can be topped. Like Rika, you are probably the most unique guest, and I don't think anyone will be able to top it for some time to come.
I really appreciate the opportunity to come on your platform and speak to you and all the folks that watch on your podcast, man. I really, really appreciate it.
No, it's thank you. Like, thank you for taking the time out of your Friday. I know it's the weekend, it's Halloween, so I appreciate it. Like, I know you probably have people have plans on Halloween, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Look at me. I live Halloween 365.
I wish I could. I love horror. Horror is my favorite genre. Horror movies is that is my bag.
Same, brother. Same.
And as soon as we get done with, as soon as I get done editing this, getting this episode out everywhere, I'm gonna pop in. I don't know what I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch a horror movie to end my Halloween.
I love horror movies, but my favorite ultimate horror, it's not even really a horror movie. It's just a Halloween movie. And that is Ernest Scared Stupid. I love Ernest.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, my heart. Oh, you're older than me, but I have some of the old Ernest VHS tapes, and
yes, that's right.
Oh,
that's
Ernest.
That's my guy, man.
Friday the 13th is my movie. That is my Jason. That is my favorite slasher movie. That is my go-to.
I was a Nightmare on Elm Street guy.
Freddy Krueger. I would. Okay, now I have to see you. You have to make a glove that looks like the Freddy glove. You've got to make one now. I've got to one that is like neon colors to it. You got to do one now. I got to see it.
All right. We can make that happen. Oh yeah.
I think Mike just froze again, actually.
Yeah.
So that's okay. That's why I'm back here. I'll look out for my guys. That's what I do. One of the things that I do is look out for my guys. I back them up, so it's not a problem. That's what we do. We back each other up. So your mask and your whole everything is just fantastic. And I also want to let you know that we will definitely be having you on another episode of Mayhem Media very soon. I'll keep you posted. Have Mike keep you posted on
please do
what's going on and what we got going on. So yeah, definitely. But I think Mike was getting to close out the episode. So I think I'm going to just close out the episode for him here. Right. Make sure you check out. We shared Rika Wild Lee's storefront a couple times. This is our storefront, bonfire.com/store/mayhem media shop. Pick up some apparel. We have a lot of new stuff up on our storefront right now. And we have a similar storefront just like you, where we design it, but we don't have to make it or anything. It gets printed for us. And, we just make a little bit of the profit. Again, it's like you said, it's more for the getting the name out there and promoting it more than it is about the money for us at the storefront right now.
Exactly.
So, we will definitely have Rika Wild Lee, the Barker of the Bizarre, back on another episode as soon as we possibly can. Definitely one of the most unique guests we have. And I sorry, I can't get away from the hat. The hat and the vest is just it's just awesome. I can't get away from it.
Thank you, man.
So thank you. Oh, I think Mike might be coming back in. So if he wants to maybe close it out, but I do believe that is where we are going to be ending this episode.
Well, I appreciate you guys for having me. It's been an honor. It's been a blast. I've had so much fun. I'm always down to talk wrestling, talk to gimmick, talk, just involve everybody in all avenues of what we all got going on.
Yeah, 100%. And we will definitely be having you on again. Mike, do you want to close it out or do you want me to take
care?
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I enjoyed this very bizarre episode and very spooky episode of the Media Mania podcast tonight with my guest, the Barker of the Bizarre, Rika Wild Lee. And if you didn't catch this live, make sure you catch it on the replay. And to quote the Barker, if you want to see more of this podcast or the Barker, all you have to do is step right up.